Hello everybody, Dieter back in another video. Alright guys, we have the very high anticipated final in Cincinnati between Novak Djokovic versus Carlos Alcaraz. The world number one Carlos Alcaraz versus the world number two Novak Djokovic. It is between these two that tennis is all about. It is these two who will take care about the big titles by tennis all over the world. Look at the Grand Slams, the last four Grand Slams. Who has won them? US Open, Carlos Alcaraz won it last year. Australian Open, Novak Djokovic won earlier this year. French Open, Novak Djokovic won it earlier this year. Wimbledon, Carlos Alcaraz won it earlier this year. So the last four Grand Slam titles, these two guys have split them two each. And now we have the Cincinnati final that is later tonight. But who will win the Master 1000 title in Cincinnati? Are we surprised they are in the final? No guys, we are not. I did a video 1 week ago. I said that the Cincinnati title will be won by Djokovic or Alcaraz, and that will be the case because of course one of these two will win it. This will be the fourth meeting between these two. 2-1. The head-to-head is in favor to Carlos Alcaraz. They first met each other 1 year ago, more than 1 year ago in Madrid semi-final, where Alcaraz won a 3-set battle. And then fast forward 1 year later, they faced each other once again on clay, and that was at French Open earlier this year in the semi-final, where Djokovic was the victorious one in 4 sets after Alcaraz, we all remember, cramped in the third and the fourth set. And then we had that great Wimbledon final last month, more than 5 weeks ago, something like that. They had that epic 5-set battle where Alcaraz surprised many of us, because many of us, including myself, had Novak Djokovic as the winner there. Novak was going for his 5th straight Wimbledon title, and was of course Novak was going for his 8th Wimbledon title to equal Roger Federer. And Novak, who is the historically a better grass court player than Carlos Alcaraz, but Alcaraz, he showed to everybody in the world and said that, you know what, Novak is the favorite, but I'm here to compete. I'm here to show to everybody that I will not be satisfied with a runner-up trophy. I want to grab that winner trophy. I will not go and leave London with a runner-up spot. And he defeated Novak Djokovic in 5 sets. After playing unbelievable Wimbledon final, I should say, with great serving, great returning, great hitting, great winners especially with his forehand and his backhand, but especially with his forehand. Great drop shots. He was great in drop shots. Carlos Alcaraz in that final, he just did a superior final. Besides the first set, when he got a breadstick from Novak Djokovic and lost the first set 6-1. After that, Carlos Alcaraz did a superior Wimbledon final, according to me. I remember Carlos Alcaraz stats. He had 9 aces. He out-aced Djokovic, which was a surprise. I didn't do that. I didn't believe he will out-ace Djokovic. Djokovic did only 2 aces in the match, in that Wimbledon final. Carlos did 9. Carlos did 7 double faults, but Djokovic did 3 double faults. So Carlos was 2. He was 2 in the plus in aces and double faults. So 9 aces, 7 double faults from Carlos' racket. Novak 2 aces only and 3 double faults. So Novak was in the disadvantage there. And in the serving department, also Carlos served better than Djokovic. Carlos landed 63% for serve. In that Wimbledon final, Djokovic landed 64%, but Carlos won much more points behind his first serve. Carlos won 70% of the points behind his first serve. Djokovic won only 62% of the points behind his first serve. The winning point behind second serve, that was in that department that Djokovic was a little better than Carlos. Djokovic won 56% of the points behind second serve. Carlos won 50% of the points behind second serve. And in the shot-making skills, if you look at the winners and Alcaraz department, Carlos did 66 winners and 45 Alcaraz in that Wimbledon final. So Carlos does 21 more winners than Alcaraz. Djokovic, on the other hand, he does only 32 winners and 40 Alcaraz. So Djokovic does 8 more Alcaraz than winners in that Wimbledon final. All in all, they broke serve to each other 5 times each. But the difference was that when it matters the most, which was obviously the 5th set, Djokovic didn't break Carlos' serve. And Carlos did break Novak's serve in that 5th set once, and that was all Carlos needed in that 5th set. And in the end, Carlos won that 5th set in that Wimbledon final 6-4. But the match was close because in the end of the day, Carlos Alcaraz won only 2 more points than Novak Djokovic. 168 points in total, Carlos Alcaraz won, and Djokovic won 166 points. So in the end of the day, Carlos won only 2 more points than Novak. So obviously the match was very, very close, and it could have gone either way. But in the end, the better player won. We all agree about that. Why did Djokovic lose that Wimbledon final? When I did my preview before that final, the reason I thought Djokovic will win, I thought that Djokovic will win the serve-return dynamic battle. I thought that Djokovic will win the serve-return battle, which he didn't. He didn't win that, all right? Carlos served better and won more points behind, especially behind his first serve, like I just demonstrated in this video. And Carlos also returned better than Djokovic in that Wimbledon final, which was surprising to me, because in my opinion, when these two face each other on the quicker courts, I have Djokovic as the favorite, because I believe Djokovic has a better serve than Carlos Alcaraz. The return is pretty even, to be quite honest, because Carlos Alcaraz is a really good returner. And that was surprising to me coming into that final when I saw Carlos Alcaraz return that tremendously good. I didn't knew back then, 5 weeks ago, that Carlos Alcaraz was that good of a returner. I know that by now for sure. So that was really, really surprising to me, that Carlos was so good of returning serve, because Djokovic he didn't have a relaxed time on his service games. We all remember that 26-minute game in the 3rd set where Djokovic just couldn't bail out from that game. He just couldn't bail out from that game. Whenever you see Djokovic play a 26-minute game in his own service game, I don't know if I've ever seen that. That's what Carlos did to Djokovic, because Carlos was returning like a machine that Wimbledon final. He has not been quite good of a returner on this Cincinnati tournament so far. He has played 4 matches. All of his 4 matches he has played, he has won. That has been in 3 sets. And go back in Toronto, he also played 2 matches there where he won in 3 sets. So Carlos Alcaraz is in a 6 consecutive winning streak in winning in 3 sets, going back in Toronto 2 and in Cincinnati 4. It has been a different story for Djokovic. He has won all his 4 matches in Cincinnati in straight sets. He has been in cruise control. He really has never been close of losing. Carlos Alcaraz, he actually even saved 1 match point against Hurkacz in the semi-final, in that 2nd set. In Carlos serve. That should be to Hurkacz's excuse. Hubi didn't have that match point in his own serve. that was in Carlos. So, what was my thought coming into this Cincinnati final later tonight? Who will win this battle? Look, considering that how Carlos has looked, he has looked much more vulnerable than what Djokovic has. He has been much closer of losing than what Djokovic has. For God's sakes, Carlos was 1 match point down against Hubert in the semi-final. That has never been the case with Djokovic. He has not even been close of losing in Cincinnati. But I don't take that in consideration when I do this prediction. I don't care all about that. And the fitness thing is not a big thing for me either. Carlos Alcaraz, he has a monster physicality. He has a great cardio. Yeah, we saw he was cramping against Djokovic 2 months ago in that French Open semi-final. The reason he was cramping was most due to his nerves, mentally. It was nothing to do with his physicality, because he's a physicality beast. He has a cardio. He has great cardio. He has great stamina. Carlos Alcaraz. He really has. You don't see him tire a lot. I don't know if I've seen him tire many times during his career. So I don't think that will be a big factor coming to this final. That is my feeling. Maybe I will be wrong. What I think will be a factor in this final is that these are lightning quick courts. I will stick to my prediction and to my analyze and to my matchup between these two, is that in a quicker courts, I favor Djokovic. Djokovic has better serve than Carlos. Djokovic has better spot serve than Carlos. He just has. I was surprised how little points Djokovic won behind his first serve in that Wimbledon final, 62%. I was surprised. I think Djokovic will win more than 62% behind his first serve in tonight's final. I really believe so. I don't think that Carlos will win points more than Djokovic behind his first serve like he did in that Wimbledon final. I don't think so. I just don't think so. Djokovic, I think he will even win more points behind his second serve. But there, I'm not as sure that what I'm sure that Djokovic will win points more than Carlos behind his first serve. I'm not quite as sure that Djokovic will win more points behind his second serve. Even though he did that at Wimbledon, with 56% winning points behind second serve, Djokovic, and Carlos with 50%. But what I'm more sure about is that Djokovic will win points more behind his first serve than Carlos. He just, I don't know, the courts will favor Novak, the courts will help Novak. He will get more rewarded in these faster courts. Even though Wimbledon is pretty fast as well, but I have a feeling that these courts here at Cincinnati is even faster than Wimbledon. It is more lively court. It bounces higher. It will be harder for Carlos to return Novak's serve. I just believe so. All right, and I have a feeling that Carlos is not returning as good in this Cincinnati, in this hard court swing in North America, at least so far. He's not returning as good as he was returning at Wimbledon, because Carlos' returns at Wimbledon was just outrageous. It was not only against Novak, but in the entire tournament. In the entire tournament, he completely ripped apart Berrettini's serve in the fourth round. And Berrettini, we all know that Berrettini has a huge serve. So it was not only against Djokovic that Carlos' return games was superior. It was the entire tournament. And that Carlos' return game is not quite at that level here at Cincinnati or in Toronto last week. So in that department, I think Djokovic will win more points than his first serve. You know what? Heck hell. I think Djokovic will win more points than his second serve as well. And I don't think Carlos will play that many of drop shots here in this final like he did in that Wimbledon final 5 weeks ago. I don't feel that Carlos, his drop shots confidence is not that quite of a high here in Cincinnati like it was at Wimbledon last month. So Djokovic will be prepared for this final. Carlos will also be prepared. Djokovic knows that Carlos is the is a big challenge for him. And he said that after the Zverev match. He said that Carlos Alcaraz is a big challenge. He's the best player in the world. So Djokovic knows that if Djokovic doesn't beat Carlos now, when Carlos has looked very vulnerable the last two tournaments that he has played, that Djokovic is pretty toasted at the US Open. He really is. Djokovic needs this victory more than what Carlos needs it. Djokovic knows that it is now that I need to beat this guy. He has beaten him once before, which was 2 months ago at French Open, but that victory can be that is a question mark there, because after all, Carlos Alcaraz he collapsed physically with cramps. So technically, Djokovic has never defeated Carlos Alcaraz 100% healthy from finish to the end. Carlos Alcaraz technically he has never done it, and he needs to do it now. He needs to do it now. Because if Carlos Alcaraz beats Djokovic tonight and makes it to a 3-1 lead on the head-to-head, coming into this final with this kind of a form that Carlos is doing, where he has looked very vulnerable the last 2 weeks, and this matchup is a huge problem for Djokovic. It's a huge problem. My tennis fans all around the world. But I think Djokovic will do the job with serving better than he did at Wimbledon, with getting more rewarded behind his first serve when he did it at Wimbledon, with playing a better forehand match than he did at Wimbledon, with returning better than he did at Wimbledon. Because, let's be honest guys, Djokovic pushed Carlos Alcaraz to the limits in that Wimbledon final, despite not playing at his great level or beast level. It was a good average Djokovic we saw at Wimbledon 5 weeks ago, but of course it had to do a lot with what Carlos Alcaraz was throwing at him, because you play as good as the opponent allows you. But I don't think that Carlos will throw the same kind of a level throw at Djokovic later tonight like he did at Wimbledon. I don't think so. I think that Novak's life will get easier later tonight. That's my feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. And because of that, Djokovic will serve better, will hit his forehand better, and will return better. And because of these three reasons, serve better than Carlos Alcaraz, return better than Carlos Alcaraz, and maybe his forehand is not as lethal, it's not as murderous, it's not as powerful as Carlos. It is not, but I think Novak's forehand will be cleaner than Carlos, at least will be cleaner, and that in the end will result in making Novak Djokovic as the winner. Can Carlos win this match? Absolutely, baby, he can. If Djokovic doesn't, he feels nervous, and he will be a little nervous, Djokovic, of course, because he knows that he's facing his biggest challenge on a tennis tour. Djokovic doesn't have a bigger challenge than Carlos Alcaraz. Let's face it. Because he's elite A+ player, Carlos Alcaraz. For God's sake, he's 20 years old and he's already 2 times Grand Slam champion. So if Djokovic comes into this final with being nervous, being tight, not putting a lot of first serve in, he needs to put over 60% first serve in to have a chance here, Djokovic. He needs to have it. Like he had in Wimbledon, 64%. That was pretty good number, landing first serve in 64%. So he needs to be on that number over 60%, because if he give Carlos Alcaraz too many second serves, then Djokovic is toast, because Carlos Alcaraz has really good returns. He's one of the best returners in the world, Carlos Alcaraz. Even though he has not been super great returning in Cincinnati and Toronto, but he's still very good returner. Much better than all the other players on the tour. He can challenge Novak Djokovic on the return game. In the return game, Djokovic can be challenged in this final. So I would not be shocked or surprised if Carlos Alcaraz even returns better than Djokovic. But I don't think that Carlos Alcaraz will serve better than Djokovic. I don't think so. And that in the end will decide the winner. And I believe Djokovic will win this final. It can go 3 sets. I will not be shocked if this final goes in 3 sets. But I will put my nose out there a little and say Djokovic wins it in straight sets. In 2 close sets, I believe Novak Djokovic wins this final. And let's see if I will be right or if I will be wrong. And if I get this wrong and Carlos Alcaraz defeats Novak Djokovic, and then my tennis fans all around the world, we have a big, huge matchup problem for Novak Djokovic, and Novak Djokovic will have a nightmare in the future in defeating Carlos Alcaraz everywhere in the world, no matter surface. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.